just cause why they may not lawfully be joined together, let him now speak, or else hereafter forever hold his peace.
For whom do the bells toll? Are they wedding bells for Gildersleeve? We'll find out. Hello there, this is Victor Ives inviting you to join us now as we turn back the clock to relive the golden moments of radio's yesteryear and present the greatest radio shows of all time here on the Golden Age of Radio Theater. From June 27th, 1943, the Great Gildersleeve. Is Gildersleeve going to be a June groom? This appears to be his last days as a bachelor. We'll find out. And later in the program, the Hall of Fantasy, presenting the story of Stone's Revenge. But first, let's find out what happens to Gildy on his way to the altar.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Now let's hurry on to Summerfield, where the whole town seems to be in a flurry of excitement and anticipation. Cakes are a-baking and gifts are wrapping and tongues a-wagging. On the morn of his last day as a bachelor, we find the Great Gildersleeve lingering alone over breakfast and steadying his nerves with a fourth cup of coffee, while from the kitchen comes the sound of Bertie's rejoicing.
Nobody knows the trouble I've seen. Nobody knows but...
Bertie!
Yes, sir?
For goodness sake.
What do you want, Mr. Gildersleeve?
If you must sing, sing something cheerful.
Yes, sir.
Where is everybody? Where's Marjorie? Where's Leroy?
I don't know, Mr. Gildersleeve. They came and they went.
Leroy didn't even finish his popsies.
No, sir. I expect he's down somewhere.
I don't know what's the matter with everybody here. I don't know what everybody is so sad about. Have to eat breakfast alone, have to listen to that.
Nobody knows how happy I am. Nobody knows but...
Bertie!
Yes, sir?
Nothing. Let it go. Let it go.
Nobody knows how happy I am.
Uncle Mort, I'm going down to help decorate the church.
Don't rush off, Marjorie. Come in and sit down with your old uncle while he finishes breakfast, won't you?
But I had mine hours ago.
I know, but just sit with me, won't you?
Well, just for a minute.
I don't know what it is. Everybody seems to be avoiding me. Have I done something?
No, Uncle Mort, no. Of course not.
Bertie hardly speaks to me. You haven't been around all morning. I'd even be glad to see Leroy. What's wrong, Marjorie?
Nothing, I guess. Everything. I can't explain. You wouldn't understand.
Is it Ben? You miss him, don't you?
Sure, I miss him. But not as much as I'm going to miss you.
Why, Marjorie, I'm going to be around. Just because I'm getting married, that doesn't mean anything's going to be changed. Marjorie, you don't think I'd... Marjorie!
Don't ask me anymore, please.
I give up. Bertie,
Yes, sir, Mr. Gildersleeve?
tell me, what's the matter with everybody this morning?
I don't know, Mr. Gildersleeve. Maybe the June bug has got him.
What's the matter? Has the June bug got you, too?
Yes, sir, I guess it has.
I give up. Anybody who has anything to do with women ought to have his head examined.
Oh, promise me that one day you and I...
Leroy!
Yes, Unc?
I've asked you before, please, not to sing that song.
What's the matter? Don't you like it?
I like the song, but I don't like your rendition.
Sorry.
Mr. Gildersleeve, excuse me.
Yes, Bertie, what do you want?
I love you so.
Leroy!
How good?
No good. Come here, young man.
What, Unc? I'm just trying to put you in the mood.
You're going to put me in a sanitarium. I'm trying to talk with Bertie here, and you stick your shirt tail in. You're yelling your head off all the time. Now go find something to do.
Gosh, it's getting to a guy can't even open his mouth around here. What a character.
I heard that. Well, Bertie, what is it you wanted to say?
Well, sir, I suppose after you get married tomorrow, you probably won't be needing me anymore, huh?
Won't need you anymore. Bertie, stop talking nonsense.
Well, you'll be married then, and Mrs. Ransom probably got different ideas.
Listen, what's going on here? Is everybody gone crazy? Just because I'm getting married, the world doesn't have to come to an end. People have gotten married before, you know. People have been getting married for 15 or 20 years now. Ye gods, I never saw such a gloomy place. Marjorie crying, Leroy sulking, you talking about leaving. I can't stand it. I'm getting out of here.
Gildersleeve. What can I do for you this merry morning?
Give me something for a headache.
A headache? Well, would you say you were suffering from an intestinal headache or an eye strain headache or a brain fatigue headache?
I've just got a great big headache, Peavy. Haven't you just got a plain headache cure?
Well, now, Mr. Gildersleeve, cure is a word we pharmacists like to avoid. Most headache remedies, for example, simply alleviate.
Oh, they do. Then, for heaven's sake, alleviate mine. Quick, will you?
All right, sir. Let me see. I've got a new preparation here the wholesale man has been pushing. It's called Head Ease.
Well, give me some of that. I'll try anything.
Here, take this with a little water.
Thank you, Peavy.
It'll be a few minutes before that takes effect. That is, if it does take effect.
I might as well wait here, then. If I go home, it'll just start again anyway.
Headache caused by domestic difficulties, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Yes, Mr. Peavy. By George, the way they're all behaving, you'd think they had to get married tomorrow.
Oh, my. Tomorrow is the happy day, isn't it?
Yes, tomorrow. Tell me, is it normal for a man to be a little twitchy the day before his wedding?
Normal, Mr. Gildersleeve? Well, if anyone could say for sure what's normal and what isn't, he'd be a wise man.
Don't get off the track, Peavy. Were you nervous the day before your wedding?
Well, I wouldn't say nervous exactly, although my temperature went up to 99 2/10.
Fahrenheit, I suppose.
Yes. I checked it on 2 thermometers.
Well, my symptoms are different, Peavy. My left eye jumps. I've got a twitch in my left elbow, too, and, well, sort of a general apprehensive feeling.
Mm-hmm. I'd say it was possible that those symptoms all had some sort of psychological basis.
You mean you think they'll all disappear as soon as I'm married?
Well, I wouldn't say that. That reminds me, I hope you won't mind, but Mrs. Peavy and I sent Mrs. Ransom a wedding gift.
Oh, well, that was very nice of you and Mrs. Peavy.
Oh, it's nothing to get excited about, Mr. Gildersleeve. It's a radish bowl.
Oh. Well, it's nice for radishes, anyway.
What I started to say was we didn't have it monogrammed.
Oh, that's all right, Peavy. Thanks anyway.
I've always been leery of monograms ever since my brother's wedding was canceled at the last minute.
Canceled?
Yes. And, Mr. Gildersleeve, you just can't imagine the trouble there was returning those wedding presents.
Oh, it must have been terrible. How did it happen that your brother...
The monogram things were the worst, I remember. Stores won't take them back, you know.
Yeah, I know. You say the wedding was canceled?
This particular monogram was especially awkward because it happened to be QQP. A little off the beaten path, you might say.
Miles from it, Peavy. How did it happen your brother's wedding was canceled?
Well, I'll tell you. This was my younger brother. I don't believe you ever knew him. Lassiter, Peavy?
No. Never met Lassiter.
Well, he was engaged to marry a girl, a dancer named Queenie Quinn. I told you the monogram was QQP.
Yes, you told me.
Well, just the day before the wedding, he went to see her, and she took offense at some remark of his. She asked him to leave the house, and the next day she refused to marry him.
You don't say.
Yes, sir, and she was as good as her word.
Peavy, there was no other man involved.
Oh, no.
Your brother didn't lose all his money or anything.
No.
The girl just called the whole thing off because of a chance remark?
Well, I'm not sure, Mr. Gildersleeve. Knowing the lady in question, I always thought maybe Lassiter made that remark on purpose.
Oh, well, I think I'll be running along now, Peavy.
Well, how about a sedative for that jumpy feeling, Mr. Gildersleeve?
I won't need it, Peavy. I feel much better now.
From the golden age of radio theater, you're listening to The Great Gildersleeve. Now back to The Great Gildersleeve as he continues with his plans to be married.
A remark, eh? All I need is a good remark. Leela, I'll say you and I have got to have an understanding. Things are going to be different around here after we're married. Things are going to be done the way I want. And if you don't like it, now is the time to do something about it, or forever after hold your peace. I'll tell her. Leela? Darling. Leela, you and I have got to have an understanding.
Oh, darling, I'd love to have an understanding with you.
You would?
Of course, right now I'm a little busy.
No, right now.
All right, darling. I just thought with the wedding and all.
The wedding can wait.
If you say so, darling, of course.
You don't have to be such a martyr about it.
Darling, nothing in the world is as important to me as what you want to do. You know that.
Huh?
Now, come sit down beside Leila on the swing and tell her what's troubling you.
I don't want to sit down.
Well, then maybe you'd like to walk in the garden. The roses are gorgeous.
I hate walking.
Oh, well then...
I hate roses, too. Let's sit down.
All right, let's. Oh, darling, your tie's all crooked. Here, let me fix it. You know, you need someone to take care of you. You rarely do.
What's the matter with my tie? I like it the way it is.
Oh, Throckmorton, you're being just a teensy bit difficult this morning.
Who's being difficult? Just because I make a chance remark about a tie, you try to make a great big issue out of it. Well, if you don't like it...
Oh, darling, don't misunderstand me. I love you when you're being difficult.
Huh?
It reminds me of Beauregard.
Beauregard.
I'll never forget when I was married to Beauregard. When he got up in the morning, he was always cross as a bear till he'd had his breakfast.
Well, I've had breakfast.
Why, some mornings he'd feel so mean he'd deliberately try to pick a quarrel with me. And then I'd kiss him and it made him so mad.
You mean he quarreled with you and you liked him for it?
Oh, gracious, no woman wants a man who has no spirit.
Peavy ought to get around more.
What, dear?
Oh, I said I'm sorry if I seem peevish.
Oh.
Right. The fact is, well, I've come here to confess something, Leila.
Oh, I love confessions.
Leila, please, be serious.
I'm serious, darling. Go on.
Well, I feel I should tell you this, Leila. I feel that I should warn you. I'm not worthy of you, my dear.
Oh, Throckmorton, don't be silly.
I'm not. I'm a terrible fellow, really. Hardly anybody likes me. There are things about me you don't know, Leila. I've done things you wouldn't believe.
Why, how fascinating. Tell me about them.
I couldn't, Leila. I couldn't. They're the kind of things people don't speak about. I can only warn you that if you go through with this wedding, it'll bring you nothing but unhappiness, Leila, much as it hurts me to say.
Oh, now, Throckmorton, don't you worry. I'm going to tell you a secret. Beauregard was no saint either.
Beauregard. Always Beauregard.
I guess I never told you about my tragedy with Beauregard. It's a thing I don't talk about much. Even after all these years, the memory is too painful.
It's all right with me if I never hear about Beauregard again.
Oh, I'll never forget him standing there in the doorway that night, so proud and so handsome. We'd had words about something, and he said some dreadful things to me, and I guess I said some dreadful things to him. And as he went out, he paused, and he said, "Well, woman, is that all you have to say to me?" And that's all I said to him, Throckmorton. With just one word, one single word, I could have held him, but I didn't. I let him go. And that's the last time he was ever seen alive. I'll never forgive myself.
There, Leila.
That's why I'll never let you go, Throckmorton. Never, never, never.
Peavy.
Oh, I know we're going to be happy together, darling. Say we're going to be happy together, just you and I.
Sure, just you and I in Beauregard.
Now, what of the Great Gildersleeve? Well, the condemned man ate a hearty dinner, sat silently for half an hour, puffing on a cigar which he'd forgotten to light, and excused himself early. Big day ahead. For hours he tossed and turned in his bed, unable to sleep. And now at last, with the first pale light of dawn breaking over the South Street church, he's dozed off. The figure of Gildersleeve lies a dormant mass in a twisted sheet, but through his tortured brain race wild dreams, the dreams of a desperate man.
I can't go through with it.
Buck up, old man, buck up.
No, I can't go through with it.
Do you, Leila, take this man to be thy wedded husband, to love and to cherish, to have and to hold, till death do you part?
Indeed I do.
And do you, Throckmorton, take this woman to be thy wedded wife, to love, honor, and obey, till death do you part?
No!
Come back here!
Gildersleeve!
Head him off, somebody!
There he goes!
Oh, right through the Annie B. Mulhauser Memorial window. After him, men!
Where are you, Leroy?
Here in the bushes. Quick, follow me. Marge has the car waiting.
Good boy. Run for it.
Step on it, Marge. I am stepping on it.
Well, step on it some more. Leroy, remind me to get the oil changed next time we get...
Here they come. They're gaining on us.
Oh, my goodness.
Judge Hooker's at the wheel.
Hooker, he'll stop at nothing.
We haven't a chance, Unc. He's got a C card and we've only got an A.
Yeah.
Hold on. Hold on, everybody. Here comes the corner. Boy, we took that one on 2 retreads.
If we can just make the house, I know a swell place to hide in the cedar closet.
Here we are. Pile out, Uncle Morris. Run for it, Unc.
Come on, kids. Oh, they'll be here any minute. Oh, the door's locked. Bertie, let me in.
Who's that wants to come in?
It's me, Gildersleeve.
I'm sorry, Mr. Gildersleeve ain't here.
I know he's not here. I mean, he is so here. He's right here with me. I mean, I'm him. Never mind what I mean. Let me in, Bertie.
I'm sorry, I can't let nobody in till Mr. Gildersleeve comes back. He's down at the church getting married.
No, he's not. He's right here. Don't you recognize me, Bertie? It's me, Mr. Gildersleeve. Open the door and you'll see.
I ain't taking no chances. Let me hear you laugh.
Quick, Uncle Mort. Laugh. Here they come. Laugh. 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 Don't laugh.
How can I laugh?
Mr. Gildersleeve, why didn't you say so?
Come on, Leroy, Marge, be quick. Slam the door. Oh, they're after me, Bertie. Protect me.
Who's after you?
Judge Hooker and his posse.
Well, they ain't going to get you. Not while I got this meat chopper.
Oh, quiet. I hear them coming up the walk.
There's nobody home but the maid.
Come out, wherever you are.
I won't.
Please.
No.
Pretty please.
No.
Come on, Gildersleeve. We've got the place surrounded. I'll give you just 30 seconds to come out of there.
Then what'll you do?
I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house out.
He'll do it, too, the old windbag.
Oh, my goodness. What am I going to do?
I'm huffing.
No.
I'm puffing.
Don't.
I'm going to blow.
No, don't blow. I'll give up, Judge. I'll give up. I'll give up, Judge.
You talking about Gildy. It's time to wake up.
Mr. Gildersleeve, wake up. The judge is here. My land, look how he's tangled up that bed.
Wake up, old man. Wake up.
I never saw this huffing and puffing.
Judge, Bertie, oh, my goodness, I had the most horrible dream. I dreamed it was my wedding day.
Well, get up, you darn fool. It is.
You're listening to the Golden Age of Radio Theater, presenting the Great Gildersleeve. We'll be back in just a moment. Now, back to the Great Gildersleeve with Hal Perry.
Well, there it is. And whoever invented an ascot tie, I hope he chokes. And he will if he wears one like this.
Now, Gildy, you look fine. Here, slip on the vest.
Vest in the middle of July. Who said July was a good month for weddings?
It's not July, Gildy. It's only June.
June's no good either. Give me the coat.
There. I got you looking like a model bridegroom.
I don't believe it.
Look in the glass. How's that?
I look like a barefooted floor walker.
Well, shoes will help. And for heaven's sake, get going. We're due at the church in half an hour.
Oh, don't keep saying that.
Well, we are.
I'm
Hurry
waiting.
up now and put on your shoes.
I'm waiting for my socks. Bertie's ironing my blue socks.
Blue.
Something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue.
Gildy.
Am I blue? Am I blue?
Throckmorton, please. Now, it's getting late and you're behaving like an irresponsible child. Now, buck up.
I'm sorry, Horace. I'll be all right. I'll go through with it.
That's the stuff, Gildy.
Judge, how would it be if I sent her an anonymous letter warning her not to marry me?
She'd recognize your handwriting.
Oh, yes, darn it.
Uncle Mort, are you almost ready?
Oh, yes, my dear. Just trying to pull the judge together.
Is he all right, Judge? He looks terrible.
You're right, my dear. I do look terrible. I'm not going to wear this thing.
Oh, now, Uncle Mort, you look very nice.
Oh, thank you, my dear. You look nice, too.
Oh, do I really look all right? I've been so rushed I hardly know what I've got on.
What's been keeping you so busy?
Well, Leela got a run on her last pair of nylons, and I simply tore all over town to find her another pair. And then she lost the key to her suitcase, so I had to take it to the lock man.
Why not let Leroy do that?
He's guarding the wedding presents.
Oh, my goodness. Whose idea was that? Don't tell me.
Well, I've got to go, Uncle Mort. Hurry him up a little, won't you, Judge?
Yeah.
Hurry. You'd think this wedding was being put on by a family of train dispatchers. What are you doing, Hooker?
Just checking over a few last things. Did you remember to send the bride's bouquet?
Yes, Horace, I sent the bride's bouquet.
That's good. What'd you send?
Daisies.
Daisies? Merciful heavens, Gildersleeve, what was the idea of sending her daisies?
They were all out of geraniums.
Geraniums would have been worse.
Geraniums happen to be her favorite flower. She told me so.
Yeah, but she wouldn't want to get married in them.
Judge, I could get myself arrested. Maybe I could rob a bank.
The banks are all closed now.
Oh, yeah. There must be some way to get in jail.
Excuse me, Mr. Gildersleeve. Here's your stock.
Oh, thank you, Bertie. Loyal to the last.
Thank you, Mr. Gildersleeve. And if I don't see you again before you're married, I wish you all the happiness in the world.
Thank you, Bertie. Thank you.
Come on, Gildy, come on. Get your shoes on now.
All right.
Oh, Throckmorton, there's one other little matter. It's customary for the best man to pay the minister.
All right, go ahead and pay him. Don't bother me with details.
Yeah, but the groom always provides the money.
What?
You put the fee in a little envelope with Dr. Needham's name on it, and I hand it to him.
Oh, no, you don't, Hooker. I wasn't born yesterday.
Now, don't be a stubborn jackass. It's just to save you embarrassment at a time when you'll have your hands full. If you'd rather give him the envelope yourself, go ahead.
Well, how much do I put in the envelope?
Oh, the usual amount.
Well, what is the usual amount?
Well, I don't know. I believe it's just whatever you think the minister deserves for marrying you.
Oh, I'll have to give him more than that, Judge.
Well, maybe $10.
Hi, Judge. How's the bridegroom coming along?
Well, little Leroy. Come here, my boy.
What do you want?
Leroy, it's nice to see you dressed up for a change.
Thanks, Unc. Same to you. Stick your shirt tail in.
Yeah. Well, won't be long now, my boy.
No, won't be long now.
You've got to stick together, my boy. After all, we're the men of the family.
That's right, Unc.
Leroy, you remember that old haunted house?
Yeah?
What if we sneaked out there right now and you tied me up with a lot of ropes and left me there till this thing blows over, huh?
Ooh, that's a great idea. We could go out.
All right, Gildy, no more of that. Go on, get out of here, Leroy. Your uncle's got a lot of things on his mind.
What's that?
That's the taxi I ordered to take us to the church. Come on, Gildy, we're late now.
But, Judge.
Hurry up, Gildy. Taxis cost money.
But, Horace.
Gildersleeve, what on earth are you doing?
I'm looking for my good luck piece. Oh, I can't find my good luck piece.
Never mind it.
Let go of me, Horace. I can't go without my good luck piece. Can't seem to remember what I'm supposed to do.
Just stand here, Throckmorton.
Here?
Yes. Then when Leela gets here, you and she walk side by side up the steps and stand in front of Dr. Needham.
Way up there?
Of course.
Where will you be, Horace?
I'll be right behind you, old boy. Now, here comes Leela. Go on up.
Hello, Leela.
Daisy.
Well, I...
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here in the presence of this company to join together this man and this woman in holiness. If any man can show just cause why they may not lawfully be joined together, let him now speak, or else hereafter forever hold his peace. Throckmorton, wilt thou have this woman to be thy wedded wife, to live together in...
I beg your pardon, Doctor. Just one moment, please.
Who's that?
A soldier.
I happen to be this lady's husband.
Beauregard!
Darling, I thought you were dead.
Why, Leela, child, I never felt better in my life.
Well, Throckmorton, I hardly know what to say. This seems to be my late husband.
Late my eye. He's just in time.
What? The great Gildersleeve's intended was already married all along? How does the great one face up to that? Well, I have a hunch we'll find out in weeks to come on the Golden Age of Radio Theater as we'll return to the Great Gildersleeve. You're listening to the Golden Age of Radio Theater. We continue now with the Hall of Fantasy.
And now, the Hall of Fantasy. Welcome to the Hall of Fantasy. Welcome to the series of radio dramas dedicated to the supernatural, the unusual, and the unknown. Come with me, my friends. We shall descend to the world of the unknown and forbidden, down to the depths where the veil of time is lifted, and the supernatural reigns as king. Come with me and listen to the tale of Joan's Revenge.
Jim Loring was my best friend. His sister Betty more than my friend, for we were set to be married the following November. We'd all been working pretty hard, and we figured we needed a rest, so we took a 2 weeks vacation and headed up north. Before we left the city, Jim rented a cabin from a real estate broker about 400 miles north of here. We left about 3 in the morning and drove steadily.
Hey, what time is it?
11:30.
Oh, we've made good time.
Yeah, that's right. According to the last marker we saw, we ought to be pulling into Wood Lake in a few minutes.
How far is the cabin from town, Jim?
Well, Gehring, the real estate man, said it was about 6 miles out of town.
You're, sure he said there were fish in that lake?
Some of the best fishing in the state. That's what he said.
That's what they all say.
We'll have to stop in town and pick up plenty of food.
That's right. Enough to hold us for a few days anyway.
Oh, look, up ahead. I think we're coming to it.
Oh, we are. It says, you see, Wood Lake, population 709.
Hey, big
You
town.
better slow down. You know these small towns.
Yeah.
The broker in the city said I could get the key to the cabin from the sheriff. It seems he also owns a store here, Sheldon's General Store.
Well, if that's the case, we might as well pick up our food there.
Yeah, might as well.
Hey, look, there it is.
Huh? Oh, yeah, I see it.
Oh, open that door in a hurry. I just hope my muscles haven't frozen in this position.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that feels great.
Oh, boy.
Good.
Beautiful day, isn't it?
Weather report said we're in for a storm tonight, though.
Oh? Well, maybe it'll blow over by tomorrow.
Oh, it's nice and cool in here.
Yeah.
Anything would be cool after driving in that hot sun.
It doesn't seem to be. Oh, yes, there is, leaning back in that chair with the paper over his face. Look.
He's sound asleep.
Pretty alert fellow, isn't he?
Yeah.
I heard that, young fella.
I was only joking.
Don't you worry none, son. I can take a joke as well as the next one. You'd be wanting something, maybe?
Yes, we rented a cabin up here, and we need some food.
Then you come to the right place. Yes, sir. What can I do you for?
You'd better take charge here, Betty.
All right. Well, let's see. We'll need some eggs. About 2 dozen.
Coming right up. Yeah. You come in fresh this morning? Where are you staying?
Oh, the old Monroe place. A real estate man in the city said we could pick up the key from you.
Yep, I got the key, all right. Yeah, what else, ma'am?
Well, let's see. Some bacon, a pound of coffee, pancake flour,
Cake flour.
potatoes, oranges, some cream, sandwich meat.
Wait a minute. Hold on, ma'am. I got what you said, but don't say no more, because if you do, I'll forget everything. So, you're staying at the old Monroe place, huh?
That's right.
Let's see now. Coffee, flour. I got a 5-pound sack of potatoes here.
Oh, that'll be fine.
Yeah. Go over there and help yourself to some oranges, ma'am, and anything else you see. Just pick it up and set it on the counter here. Hmm?
All right. I guess that will be the easiest way.
Yeah. So you're staying at the old Monroe place, huh?
You said that once before.
Yeah, I know I did. I just wanted to be sure I was hearing right.
Well, your hearing's all right, Sheriff. By the way, may we have the key?
Sure enough. It's right here under the counter. No. Yeah, long time since that cabin's been rented.
Oh? How come?
People just don't like to go up there.
Oh, why not? Anything wrong with it?
Not exactly. Still the best cabin around these parts. Got a nice refrigerator. Indoor plumbing. A real nice place. But you oughtn't to go up there.
Why?
Because of old Jeff Stone. People around here say they've seen him up there.
Oh, he won't bother us.
Don't you count on that, young feller.
Look, if he comes around the cabin, we'll ask him to leave.
Only leaving, that'll be done. It'll be done by you.
Well, why? Is he dangerous?
Yeah, he's dangerous. And he's dead, too.
What do you mean?
Just what I said.
Well, you can't expect us to believe
I
that.
don't expect you to believe nothing. I'm just telling you what I know for a fact.
The real estate man didn't say anything about...
He's only interested in renting it. Now, you listen to what I got to say.
So I don't think...
Let him talk, Jim.
Thank you. I'll tell you about what happened up there. About 15 years ago it was. Old man Monroe hated Jeff Stone. Used to make life miserable for Jeff. And Jeff used to come in here and say that he was going to get even someday. And the hatred inside him would come out on the surface. And it even made me afraid. It was the winter time when it happened. Old man Monroe was in his cabin, and there was a big storm outside. One of the worst we ever had up here. His daughter was with him. She was the one who told me what happened. Jeff got himself caught outside in that storm. He knew the only place he could reach was old man Monroe's cabin. So he fought his way through the blizzard, and he got to the cabin half froze. Yeah, he pounded on the door.
Let me in! Let me in!
Old Monroe knew it was Jeff outside. He wouldn't open that door. He let him stay out there in the freezing cold, pounding on the door and yelling, "Let me in! Let me in!" Well, Monroe's daughter tried to let him in, but the old man wouldn't let her. So Jeff stayed out there and froze to death. But just before he stopped yelling, the girl heard him say,
I'll make you pay for this, Monroe. For as long as Monroe lives, I'll make you pay.
Yes, sirree. In the morning, when the storm was over, they went outside and found him frozen to death.
And that's the end of the story?
Not by a long shot, young feller. Ever since that time, people have died who stayed in that cabin. First Monroe's daughter, then him, and then others. Anybody who went up there. People up here say they've heard him pounding on the door and yelling, "Let me in, let me in." And when the folks in the cabin let him in, they die. Real strange like. They die.
The sheriff leaned across the counter as he spoke to us. Even though the day was warm, I could feel a chill creep over me as he told us the story of one man's revenge.
So I wouldn't go up there if I was you.
Yeah, certainly a frightening story.
Yep, sure is.
Is there any other cabin around here for rent?
Well, it's been a busy season up here. Most of the places got people living in them. I got a place, though, I could let you have. Not too bad a place. Let you have it mighty cheap.
Maybe we ought to...
Nonsense. No, we'll go up to the cabin.
Well, it's all right with me.
Well, I think that about does it, Sheriff Sheldon.
All right, let me see now. 95 for coffee, 57 for bacon.
Eggs, you sure we have everything we need?
Well, as long as you two manage to catch a few fish we have. If you don't, then we'll be making quite a few trips into town.
Wait till we get out in the boat.
I'll wait until I get the fish into the pan.
Yeah, it comes to $11.92. You can check my figures if you want to.
Oh, no, we trust you, Sheriff. Here.
Yep, out of 12. Yes, me. Always good to have a little business on the side, like this here store. Here's your change.
Thank you, sir.
Look, you're sure you don't want to go to my cabin, huh?
Oh, we're sure.
Well, I warned you. You're walking in with your eyes open. I hope you walk out that way. That is, alive.
Certainly is far enough away from everybody.
Mm-hmm. It's a good thing we have a map or we'd be lost.
Hey, look, I can see it.
Huh? Yeah, hey, so do I. Hey, it looks pretty nice.
Oh, and there's the lake. Oh, it's beautiful.
Hey, can I pick him or can I pick him?
This lake is so hard to get to that I bet it hasn't been fished much.
I can hardly wait to get out there.
They ought to be hitting pretty well this afternoon, huh?
We'll get the boat off the trailer and whip that lake to a froth.
Jim.
Mm-hmm.
I heard that story that the sheriff was telling you. You don't think there was any truth to it, do you?
Of course not. You notice when he finished, he said he had a place that we could rent?
Oh, I hadn't thought of that.
Well, I did.
He just wanted to talk us out of coming up here. Always good to have a little business on the side, he said. I wonder how many people he's talked out of coming up here with that crazy story of his.
Yeah. Quite a few, I suppose. But it did frighten me.
We found the cabin to be in excellent condition. We moved our things in, had a bite to eat, then Jim and I unloaded the boat and went fishing, while Betty took a sunbath on the beach in front of the cabin. The big ones weren't hitting, but the panfish were. And when we came in, we had a stringer full of bluegills, crappies, and perch. Betty fixed dinner, and we had all the fish we could eat. The rest of the evening, we took it easy, listening to the radio we'd brought with us or reading. The weather report was right that day, and a little after 9 o'clock, it began to rain.
Hey, we're right about the rain.
Yeah, sounds like it'll be a good one.
I hope we don't have rain the whole time we're up here. That would be just our luck.
Hey, who turned off the radio?
I did. Nobody seemed to be listening to it.
Well, put it on, will you?
Oh.
I want to catch the rest of the news before I turn in.
If we're going to get up early tomorrow, we'd better think about turning in.
Yeah, we'll hear the news and then call it a day.
Okay.
And that's the news of the world and the national scene. As for the local news, there's... Ladies and gentlemen, a bulletin has just been handed to me. Lawrence Graham, an inmate of the State Institution for the Criminally Insane, escaped from the grounds a little more than 2 hours ago. So far, he has not been apprehended. His description follows. 6 feet tall, gray hair and brown eyes, last seen wearing gray shirt and pants. This man is dangerous. If you see him, on no account try to apprehend him, but get in touch with the local police of your area immediately. I repeat, this man is dangerous. Be very careful.
Turn it off, Betty.
The state hospital for the criminally insane. That's pretty close to us.
I think it's about 5 or 6 miles away.
Oh, they'll catch you. Don't worry about it. He won't get away.
I hope so.
Well, I think I'm going to turn in.
Let me in! Listen.
What's the matter?
I heard something.
So did I. Crash of thunder.
No, something else. I thought I heard a voice.
Oh, nonsense.
Maybe you're right. Maybe. There it is again.
I heard it, too.
Yeah, so did I.
We'd better take a look outside.
Yeah, all right.
No, don't go outside.
We'll just stand in the doorway and see if there's anything out there.
Do you see anything?
No. Nothing.
Then come back inside.
Yeah, all right. Maybe it was someone lost in the storm.
Or maybe it was the man who escaped. Or Jeff Stone. Someone is out there.
Yes, there is something out there. We'd better go see what it is.
All right,
Let me in! He's outside the door.
Let me in!
Come on, let's see who it is.
Okay.
Let me in. Oh, I'm glad I found you here.
What's the matter with him?
I found him lying on the ground about a half a mile from here. I've been carrying him ever since.
Here, let me help you.
Put him down over here.
All right. There, that does it.
What's wrong with him?
I don't know.
He doesn't seem to...
What's the matter with him?
He's dead.
The Hall of Fantasy is presenting Stone's Revenge. We'll continue in just a moment. You might find it interesting to note that this Hall of Fantasy broadcast was recreated in 1974 because the original recording from the broadcast in the 50s was destroyed. But fortunately, they were able to get many of the actors back together again and reproduce Stone's Revenge on the Hall of Fantasy.
The storm was getting worse. Outside, thunder roared and the rain fell in torrents. Inside, we turned to look at each other, for a dead man was lying on the couch.
Are you sure?
There's no pulse. He's dead.
Was he dead when you found him?
No.
Then he must have died while you were carrying him.
Yes.
Storm's pretty bad. You'd better stay here until it blows itself out.
Thanks.
Gordon,
Yes?
come over here a minute.
All right. What do you want?
Don't talk so loud. Do you see his clothes?
Whose?
Well, not the dead man.
What's so different about them?
Gray shirt and slacks.
Remember the broadcast? Gray shirt and slacks, 6 feet tall with gray hair and brown eyes. Well, that man fits the description of the one that they put out the warning about. What do you think we should do?
I don't know.
The announcer said he was dangerous.
But it might not be him.
What if it is?
Hey, what are you two talking about?
We were wondering if you'd like something to eat, sir.
No.
You live around here?
At one time.
Do you know who he is?
I remember the face very well, but the name escapes me.
What's your name?
I'd rather not say.
Well,
Why don't you drive into town and get some cigarettes, Gordon?
but we...
Yes, we're almost out. I'll go right away.
But I don't
We
understand.
don't have enough, Jim.
Oh, all right, if you say so.
You ought to wear a raincoat.
No, I'll be right back. I'll get back as soon as I can with the cigarettes.
Hurry, Gordon.
Just a minute. Well, young feller, it's you. Come on in. Is anything wrong?
Plenty. Did you hear the broadcast about the escaped killer?
Yep.
Well, there's a man at our cabin who fits that description.
You sure?
Yeah. He came to the cabin and he was carrying a dead man.
What'd the dead man look like?
Blonde, nice-looking fellow.
He's dead, huh?
Yeah. And we think the other man killed him.
The lunatic?
Yes.
He couldn't have.
Why?
Because he was captured a few minutes after that broadcast. You must have turned your radio off right after the bulletin.
Well, yes, we did. But, Sheriff, then who are the men in our cabin?
The men in your cabin? I'll tell you who they are. The young one was Tom Monroe. He was going up to see you.
Tom Monroe?
Yes.
Why?
To tell you that it just wasn't a wild story I told you. To tell you to get out of that cabin before it was too late.
Then the other man is...
Jeff Stone. I told Tom not to go, but he wouldn't listen to me. He said he didn't want any more people to die up there. And so he died himself.
Sheriff, Jim and Betty are still up there.
With Jeff Stone?
Yes.
Well, we're going to have to move awful fast to save him. Come on.
The road's so slippery, I hope we can make it up to the top.
Yeah, we're almost there. Keep driving.
Yes. I almost didn't make it down. I got stuck once up there.
We'll make her.
Oh, if anything's happened to them, I don't know what I'd do.
Just pay attention to the road.
All right. Here's the spot I got stuck in before. We're not moving.
Rock her a little, rock her.
Right. No, we're stuck. We're stuck good.
Then leave the car here and we'll travel the rest of the way on foot.
All right. All right. Let's get out.
I can see the lights through the trees. Come on, let's go.
All right. It's slippery.
Yeah, watch your step.
Betty! Jim, we're coming!
I can't hear you, not with this storm and all.
Oh, I thought if he heard me...
Here, forget it. Just watch. Are you all right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Here, I'll help you up.
Thank you.
There you are. All right, let's go.
All right.
We're almost there.
Yeah. I hope they're all right.
We'll go in quietly.
Huh?
Just open the door and walk in.
Right.
The storm ought to cover any sounds we make.
Right.
And you just let me handle this.
All right.
Here we go. It's locked.
We'll have to break it down.
Together, then. Here
All
we
right.
go.
Well, that was Betty.
We got to get that door down.
Right.
That's it. That's it.
Betty, what's wrong?
It's you.
Well, of course. I brought the sheriff with me.
Where's the man that was here?
Oh, he's gone.
I thought it was him returning when you crashed against the door. That's why I screamed it. I was afraid.
Well, I want to be sure that... Yep, it's Tom Monroe, all right.
You know this man?
Yeah, he's the grandson of old man Monroe, who murdered Jeff Stone by letting him freeze to death outside. Jeff Stone's revenge is over now.
killed other people that came here, then why didn't he hurt us?
Revenge is a strange thing, ma'am. In Jeff Stone's case, I think it was strong enough to bring him back from the grave to try to even the score. So he killed old man Monroe over again every time someone died here. And when he killed young Tom here, then his feeling for revenge left him. Why? Tom was the last of the Monroes, Mr. Blake. Jeff Stone's revenge is complete now. Yes, sir, it's complete now. And he can rest quiet in his grave.
So runs tonight's tale of the unusual, the terrifying, the unknown. Join us again when next we journey down the corridors of the Hall of Fantasy to hear another strange tale of the supernatural. All characters and events portrayed in these programs are fictional, and any similarity to actual events or persons, living or dead, is purely coincidental.
In just a moment, a word about the next golden age of radio theater. Next time, X-1...
I'll make a run for it. The street looks clear.
Well, thanks for the company.
Not at all. So long.
Hey, mister, look out, that car. Look out! Why, you... Is he dead?
Yes, sir.
That was deliberate. I saw you.
Hello, Purser.
It's Mr. Costello.
Yes, I'm sorry about the accident. My chauffeur was...
He tried to run away.
That's what happens to soloists. If he'd had a companion to warn him, to thrust him out of the way. You understand that, don't you, Purser?
I don't know.
Climb into the car. You can't go wandering about Borington Lawn.
Well,
Police will take care of the body. It's all right.
Okay, if you say so, Mr. Costello.
Drive to the spaceport.
Yes, sir.
Well, what do you think of our little planet?
Well...
I knew you'd like it. Just think of it, Purser. All humankind, a single unit. Yes, this is a people that has found the truth. It awes me. Makes me humble. Speak up, man. I'm your friend.
Well, I was going to say, I'm not sure I like it.
Well, take your time. Nobody has to make a man see the truth. Isn't it right?
Well...
That's right, isn't it?
Yes, I guess it is.
Fine. Yes, only the trappers refuse to see the truth.
Are they really dangerous?
Dangerous? They go out and spend weeks alone by themselves, don't they? Alone with their own evil thoughts.
And Fibber McGee and Molly.
Oh, I wonder why Uncle Dennis came home at this hour of the day.
I don't know, but I hope it was insured.
You hope what? What was insured?
Joe's Tavern. Unless Joe's Tavern burned to the ground, Uncle Dennis would never be home at this hour.
Now, listen, stop it. Uncle Dennis always bends over backwards to be nice to you.
Yeah, if that guy ever bent anything but his elbow, he'd be...
Oh, no, you don't. No, you don't. Oh, no, get away from me. Get away. Leave me alone now. Get away, get away.
Uncle Dennis, what's the matter?
Why, you're as white as a bartender's apron.
There's a moose in my room.
Here on the Golden Age of Radio Theater. This is Victor Ives speaking, thanking you for being with us, and inviting you to join us again as we turn back the clock to relive the golden moments of radio's yesteryear and present the greatest radio shows of all time, here on the Golden Age of Radio Theater.
For a copy of today's program, call 1-800-326-0296 and refer to show number 1. That number again is 1-800-326-0296. And remember to refer to show number 1.